You might be thinking about betting on Jon Jones this weekend because he is the greatest fighter of all time to most fans of the UFC, but I'm here to tell you that that is not a good idea, and I will tell you why in just a second. I do want to say before we get into the video, hello everybody, and welcome back to the video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's talk about Jon Jones. Okay, so Jon Jones, of course, the greatest fighter of all time in most people's eyes. Not my eyes, but I can't ignore that most people think that he's the greatest fighter of all time. Even without his controversies, he is one of the greatest. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter, okay? So he's moving up to heavyweight. A lot of people are already saying, you know what, it's Jon Jones. No matter who he fights, he's going to win. But he's taking on Ciryl Gane. First of all, it's not necessarily the opponent in Ciryl Gane that worries me because Cyryl's really good. You know what I mean? He's a perfect number one contender. I believe he's a number one contender, at least. Regardless, he's steamrolled most of his opponents besides Francis Ngannou, and you could even argue that he won that fight, and even his weakness on the ground, which people are talking about. I don't know if it's necessarily a weakness because it might be Ngannou being so big and so strong that he might be able to hold anybody on the ground for the period that he held Ciryl Gane. You know what I mean? So I think that we haven't seen enough of Ciryl Gane's ground game to consider it a weakness, and that's a lot of people are saying Jon Jones could just use his wrestling game and take him down. Can he do that? Probably. But like I just mentioned, we don't know how Ciryl Gane necessarily is on the ground because I want to chalk up to Francis' strength. I think I need to see him fight a guy like Jon Jones or a guy like Curtis Blades, then see how he deals with the ground game. Then I can consider that a weakness. Even if that's the case, okay, let's ignore that. Let's ignore Ciryl Gane's wrestling game, which could be a problem for him, okay? The biggest question mark for me, and the reason that I'm definitely not going to bet on this fight, is because we don't know how Jon Jones is going to look at heavyweight. There are too many question marks. So many people say he's the greatest ever, but you got to think, this is the first time he's ever going to be at this weight. Is he going to be slow moving? Is he going to be comfortable? This is the first time he's going to fight somebody just as big as him, potentially even bigger. I believe Jon Jones has a couple inches of reach, but still, he doesn't have a long reach advantage. He doesn't have that 10 to 12 inch reach that he has on so many opponents. He won't be able to stick his arms out there. He won't be able to poke people in the eyes. He won't be able to use those kicks to keep people at bay because he's going to have, again, somebody that's kind of towards the same size of him, especially a striker that's as good as Ciryl Gane. Cyryl's really, really fast for heavyweight, and that worries me for Jon, especially. Another thing that I want to talk about is Jon Jones has not looked good in any of his recent fights. Of course, you have the Dominic Reyes fight. He obviously lost that fight, okay? Even before that, Thiago Santos didn't look good. A lot of people thought that he lost that fight. That's a conversation for another time, but even if you go back to his Alexander Gustafsson fight, he looked great against Alexander Gustafsson, but Alexander Gustafsson was a shell of the fighter that he once was. You have to go all the way back to his Daniel Cormier fight for him to look really, really good, but even then, he outsized DC by a lot. He had that reach advantage. He had, DC couldn't touch him so many of the times. You know what I mean? Jon Jones, he's 35 now, moving up to a division that he's never moved up before with a complete different beast. He won't have the size advantage. He probably won't have the speed advantage. There are too many question marks on me to say that Jon Jones is going to win this fight. That's why I think it's a horrible, horrible idea to place bets this weekend. If you're placing a bet on this fight, it's like flipping a coin. That's really what I'm at with this Jon Jones fight. I don't care that he's one of the greatest fighters of all time. This is completely new territory, and I do not believe that Jon Jones will win this fight. If you had a gun to my head, I'd say Ciryl Gane would win this fight. But again, anything could happen. Jon could go out there, and he could show that he's a true heavyweight. You know what I mean? 35. Who knows how his chin's going to hold up, too? Probably going to be okay, but it's way too much. There are way other fights that you should bet on this card. That's what I wanted to tell you guys this video. I don't think it's a good idea to bet on Jon Jones this weekend. So many people are talking about like he's going to be the champion already. I don't even know if he's going to make it to the octagon. But guys, let me know what you think. Am I thinking way too much into this, or is Jon Jones going to go out there and do what Jon Jones does and just win the fight, win the title, then fight Stipe Miocic and beat him? If he beats Ciryl Gane, I think he'll beat anybody at heavyweight. So guys, let me know what you think down below, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you are new here and enjoy the content, please consider the like button will help the channel a ton, and subscribe if you are brand new. Check the description down below for links to all my other channels, and if you'd like to hear more fight talk about anything MMA related, hit that notification bell. Thank you so much for watching again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.